In today's episode, we're talking about two Ohio women who had been charged with gross abuse of a corpse and theft after allegedly driving an 80-year-old man's corpse to a bank to withdraw money from his account. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Love and Murder. If you are new here, my name is Kai, and like I said, this is Love and Murder, Heartbreak to Homicide, the Tuesday edition. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this episode and all of my episodes are sponsored by my lambs in Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder. If you want to become an exclusive lamb and support Love and Murder, then go ahead and sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder. So let's get into your True Crime Tuesday. Shortly after 5 p.m. on March 4th, police responded to a 911 call from the Ashtabula County Medical Center saying that a deceased elderly gentleman had been dropped off at their facility with no information, and it was two unidentified women who just dropped him off and left. So police came out to investigate, but they didn't really have much to go on. However, hours after the women dropped off the deceased man, one of the women called the facility and gave some details, and this led authorities right to them. So the deceased man was 80-year-old Douglas Lehman of Ashtabula, Ohio, and the two women he actually lived with. One was 55-year-old Loreen Feralo, and the other was 63-year-old Karen Casbohm. Now, Loreen had actually been in a relationship with Douglas for about 7 to 8 years, and she had actually moved into the house a little while after her and Douglas started going out, while Karen had moved into their home a couple months ago and just started staying there. So basically, this was Doug's and Loreen's house. So Doug's house, actually. Loreen started talking to Doug like 8 years ago. And a little while after they started dating, she moved into Doug's house, and then Karen just came to stay. Now, according to what Loreen and Karen told police, they had come home and they found Douglas dead in the house on March 4th. Then, with the help of a third person, they picked up Doug and put his body in the front seat of his car and drove to the bank to withdraw some money. They didn't give the amount of money, but through the investigation, they kind of surmised that it was about $900 from his account. And with the help of this third person, they were able to position his body so that it would look like he was just a passenger and the people in the bank would be able to see him and identify him. Then after they went to the bank, took out all that money, that's when they took his body to the Ashtabula County Medical Center, dropped him off, and then left. So they were arrested and charged with gross abuse of a corpse and theft of a person in a protected class. Some of these laws I didn't even know existed. I don't even know what half of these laws are. I mean, I understand it once I hear it, but it's just, I wouldn't have even known that was a law. They both pled not guilty to the charges, even though, dude, we could see you on the bank camera and you literally just told us what happened. How are you not guilty? So Karen had a bond at $5,000. I didn't find out if Loreen had a bond or not, but Karen's bond was set at $5,000. Then, while in jail, she made a phone call, and I don't know if people don't understand that everything in jail is recorded. So she made a phone call, and on the recorded phone call, she admitted that she knew Douglas was dead when she took him to the bank to withdraw money from his account. So the person she was speaking with asked her when Douglas died, and she said, quote, "He died when I said he died." So the person then asked her, well, why didn't you just go to the police? And she said, quote, "I just figured I would go to the bank and then to the hospital and drop him off. I just forgot to leave his name." So the family member said, quote, "He died before you went to the bank, dude." And then she said, quote, "I know." Now, Karen, who's actually in a wheelchair, also allegedly, I have to say allegedly, also told this person that she was talking to that Douglas's body was too heavy for either her or Loreen to hold. So that's when the both of them decided to ask a male friend for help. So they had already told police this. So police went out to find this third person, and they found a Justin Kelly and arrested him as well. His charge was of gross abuse of a corpse because he helped them put this deceased body in the car, which I just don't understand some people. There's no amount of peer pressure in this world that you're going to get me to do something like this. There's none. I just don't understand. Maybe it's a personality trait, and maybe these people just know the right people to go to. Like somebody who's afraid of confrontation or just really, really wants friends and will do anything for friends, or I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I don't know. I mean, I know people who are afraid of confrontation, but they will totally, like, even if they say yes because they're afraid of that confrontation, once they say yes and leave your sight, they're going to go somewhere else so they don't have to do what you ask them to do. But at the same time, they don't have to do the confrontation. So it's just their way of still not doing it. I just don't understand people who do this thing. Hey, come help me move this dead body. You're okay. Like, I don't, can you let me know in the comments below? Give me some idea of why these perpetrators could actually find people to willingly help them. Cause I can't fathom it. I want you to tell me, please give me an idea. Or if you've ever heard of it, not saying you did it, or even if you did it, if you've done it or you've ever heard of it being done, please let me know in the comments below because it baffles my mind. Anyways, so I know some of y'all are wondering why the bank allowed them to take $900 out of his account without actually speaking to him. So what happened was the bank had allowed this before, but the only condition that they had was that Douglas was with them. That's it. So Douglas didn't have to like say, hey, I'm Douglas, I give permission. It's just that he had to be there, which is why they angled him in such a way that the bank tellers could see him. And this was such a normal occurrence because they constantly took him to the bank and constantly, according to them, took money out, that it wasn't on the bank's radar to think this was weird. Which if only one of you are going out with him and the other one's just staying there, why are y'all taking money out of his bank account? And none of y'all are married to him. Why are y'all taking money out of his bank account on a recurring basis? None of y'all had a job or money coming in for yourself? Like, what is going on? So when police asked them why they even did this, they said that they wanted to pay some bills, and that was it. That's it. That was their only motivation. So currently the case is still under investigation. They waived their right to a preliminary hearing, and right now the Ashtabula County grand jury needs to determine if they should be indicted. While the case is still under investigation, additional charges could still be filed. If convicted, they could face up to a year in prison on each charge. And I mean, one is in a wheelchair, and how old are they again? 63 and 55. I mean, they're not old, so it's not like it's going to be the rest of their lives. So, and that is the case of these two women who were just greedily, apparently, in my opinion, using this man for his money. And that's what I'm going to have as the poll question. Do you think they were just using him for the money? Both of them. Do you think they were just there for the money? And Loreen let her friend Karen stay there and also just take Douglas's money. So do you think they were just using him for his money? That is the poll question that I'm going to put out. And you can answer that on the WhatsApp group, murderandlove.com/WhatsApp. You can answer that in our Patreon. You can answer that on our Facebook private group, and you can answer that on Spotify. So these are the places you can answer the poll. Now, before I close out, I want to remind you to go ahead and share this episode. That is a free way that you can help Love and Murder, and you can help me. So go ahead and hit that share icon on whatever platform you're on. Share on your social media, share on your Instagram, share on your Facebook, share on your Twitter if anybody still uses Facebook and Twitter. No idea. Share on your TikTok, even share on Reddit. Share. Share with everyone you know and everyone you don't. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.